All right, welcome to day 8. Yes, day 8. Also, Boxy, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I was I was trying to get my microphone together, but and I had to make my G Fuel. Um I guess I didn't need it, but it really helps at this hour of the night. So, let's see. I was working a little bit before this, so I got to kind of think through I don't know exactly what I'm going to do today, but I know what my goal is, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to at least get something accomplished this evening. So I'm going to adjust the music for a second. Hold on. Okay. That was my alarm to make sure I start stream. I want to adjust the music because it's kind of loud to me, even though I fixed it. Okay. Just to give a little bit better balance. But anywho, yeah, so okay. The challenge I've been running into is that with my model training for the examples, I feel like it's not very efficient right now because it can take almost an hour or more for even some of the simple examples to fully train, which I mean, I would basically have to start the models before I even start my session, just so they'll be ready for me to go when I'm actually working. So yesterday, towards the end of the stream, I was like, well, maybe I should look into model deployment. And so that's what I'm gonna attempt at today. I hope that this will, like, my idea behind this is that now moving forward, whenever I have a new example, I'll go ahead and train it, and whichever platform I end up using, go ahead and train it, and then deploy it. So, and then maybe set up like some way that I can actually test it out. So that way I won't end up having to, retrain my models or basically lose time trying to work on examples, because even now, in order to work on the model that I've been wanting to test out for like the last 2 days, when I restart this training, it's gonna take an hour or more. This one took until this one took an hour and 17 minutes yesterday, and then it's just not really that productive to keep retraining over and over again. So, anyways, so what I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. First thing I should do though is do my log. So I am keeping my 100 days of code log. Um Come on. And then I probably have way too many things open right now on top of everything else. So I'm excited. So I'll do my log and then I'll start my timer. This little circle in the bottom is keeping track of my Pomodoros, and I am doing 25-minute Pomodoros. So far, it's working out okay. And then one thing I updated today is I changed the to-do list in the stream layout, so it's a little bit easier to see what is being worked on right now. 50 plus tabs. Oh no, I go above and beyond on the tabs, like you don't even know. And I have multiple profiles, so sometimes I have 50 tabs in every every single profile. Um but yeah, I updated the to-do list in the like stream layout. So basically the way I have these goals listed out now, I have like my short-term goal. I have the like courses that I plan on taking in the order that I expect to work on them. And then I have a couple other goals in here. So right now, I think I said by the end of this month, I want to finish publishing the AI ML hub that I've been working on in Notion, which is just a lot of resources that I'm using and finding, but also other people might find helpful. So y'all know I pretty much bring this up like once a day. I have a little bit more I want to add to it, but yeah. So me finishing this and like publishing it, it will be a work in progress, but it'll be, something that's publicly accessible that people can easily use. And I'll just continue to add resources here as I find them. So that's the goal for that. And I want to finish that by the end of the month. So that is like more of a short-term goal. Because I know I would not finish the Fast AI material by the end of the month. I have 6 more or 7 more weeks on the Fast AI. So that's my next goal, is to finish the Fast AI material. Then after that, I'm hoping I would be in a good position to at least make some type of open source contribution, even if it's to a small repository, or even if it's documentation or something. But I really want to push myself to make and start getting involved with some of the open source projects that are out there, which there are plenty. There are a lot of open source models. If you're not aware of that, there's a lot of open source models, especially right now in the large language model space. Even there are open source models. There's open source computer vision models. So I want to make that a goal after I finish this project or this course. Then afterwards, I'm going to move into the NLP course for Hugging Face. So once I do those 2 courses, because that's pretty much all I'm going to have time for within the 100 days itself, then I want to work on building my stream partner, my AI partner or whatever. I think I should have most of the information I need by then. And that's definitely a bigger project. And then whatever smaller projects that are inside of the courses, I will be adapting some projects to, make them my own. And then finally, after I finish working on my stream partner, that's when I would like to work through the deep learning specialization. I didn't decide on which one I want to do yet, but I think maybe once I get through more of the materials that I'm learning now, I'll have more of an idea of which one of the specializations is interesting to me, because I think it's going to depend a lot on what foundational knowledge I feel like I have at that time, because some of the specializations are, some are more, I guess you could say, beginner friendly, like they have introductory specializations. And then they have different levels of them. They got cloud cert for AWS. It doesn't say cert in particular, but I imagine this lends itself towards the AWS cloud cert. ML ops, so it'll probably be somewhere in the intermediate. Right now, I'm looking at this deep learning specialization. Or the natural language processing specialization. So we'll see how I feel after I finish that other material. I might kind of feel like I've done what I wanted to do here. Maybe it'll be more valuable to go here. I don't know. But we shall see. So that is my trajectory right now. And I know that I'm going to start back to school in the fall. Mind you, I haven't been in like real school since it's been a while. It's been since like 2015, 2016, something like that. So, yeah, I'm going to think about my time frame, because it occurred to me, like maybe an hour ago while I was kind of like working on some planning stuff. Like, I should try to finish my deep learning specialization before I start taking classes. I will be doing some prereq classes through study.com, but other than that, I I think, my big focus will be to finish the specialization up before I try to go into finishing up my bachelor's program. So that's kind of what's on my mind right now. School, work, stream, mom. Heck yeah. Um, but and same for you, Boxy, right? You have a lot going on. I think one of the big points right now is, after the first week, I got 7 days done. Today is day 8. So 1 week done, 1 week of consecutive streams, consecutive sessions, and I am feeling good. I think that overall, one of my big concerns is not burning out because I'm good for it. But at the same time, I have a lot more control over how my day to day goes, and what types of things I'm working on, my workload outside of what I'm studying for and what I'm training for. And that helps out a lot. The big challenge is obviously I have a 11-month-old, so his schedule is changing a lot and I'm working on that with him. So that's why I'm doing these late streams, even though I am naturally a night streamer. This year is my first time actually streaming in the mornings, but I do like studying in the morning. And when I do start back to school, I will prefer to start waking up earlier and studying in the morning. Because honestly, I have to get sleep at night, and I'll be that person that'll be up all night if I don't go to bed. So I have to push myself to go to bed at night so that way I can get sleep while he's sleeping. But I'm starting to get him to go to sleep earlier in the evening. So, but he wakes up pretty early in the morning, not too early though. So we'll see. But I like studying first thing in the morning because it prevents me from getting distracted. So that's just a challenge right now. Trying to go to bed at 9:30 or 10. Yeah, so I could definitely go to bed. I have been going to bed early, like as soon as he'll go, then I'll be out. But I finally started to get some of my energy back recently. So after he goes to sleep, or at least after I put him to bed, I have been kind of like working on some stuff like making assets for the streams, working on the podcast stuff. I'm basically working on a lot of content things, and I'm light on teaching right now, but I'll probably be teaching. Dang, I should look at it. Let's see. When is our 100 days of code going to be over? I'm scared to bring up my calendar because ain't no telling what's on there. Let's look at this calendar. I should have a calendar in content. What's on this content calendar? I don't want to look at that one. What about weekly planner? Can I look at it in calendar format? Okay, let's do this. This is kind of necessary at the moment. They're 9 and 10. Aww. Oh, August 13th is our last day? Okay. Or the 16th. Okay. So, because we started on the 8th. So, say, the only thing I don't like about this end date. Oh, I can do an end date. Okay. Let's do an end date as well. So, oops. August 16th. "100 days of code." Yeah, that'll be at least that will be good for dang, is it gonna take all the way till August? All of May, all of June, all of July, and half of August. Sounds about right. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You know, this is what I need in my life, because this is the type of stuff that causes me to burn out. If I'm thinking like, oh, okay, I want to do a specialization after I finish 100 days of code, but before I start for school. And I was actually looking at today, like, do I want to look at like a September start date or not? So I wouldn't really have the time to do the specialization after that. So that's something to consider. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, we are here on day 8. And yeah, like I was saying, I feel pretty good. My biggest concern is making sure that I am not burning myself out. And so yeah, it takes a lot of this. It takes like sitting down, looking at time frames, trying to figure out that I'm not overlapping too many things, and also comparing my studying and training schedule to my teaching schedule, as well as, you know, I'm working on some other projects. I'm going to have like another round of client work in July, I think, helping at least some founder work on their startup MVP. And I usually do that. That takes about 8 weeks. So, you know, I'll have things overlapping like that, but I do get to say yes or no. And that makes a big difference, right? Because I don't have to overcommit myself if I am conscious of my calendar and my schedule. And I'll be honest, I fell off of this for a while. Like, I haven't properly planned since like 20, I'm gonna say 2019. mm, does that sound right? Maybe 2018, the beginning of 2018. You know, that was like the first year I did not do my big like beginning of the year planning or end of the year planning that I usually do. And yeah, I can tell, so um now that I'm in this state where I have I have all of my different projects and organizations that I work with, and I'm managing all of that. I have to be conscious of how things go, but overall, I think that's some flexibility that I appreciate having. Just have to do a little bit more work to make sure it stays in place. So it's interesting. I say kudos to everybody who wants to achieve or has achieved 100 days of code without having to, sacrifice with work or family, school. You know, when you have so many things on your plate and you're still trying to get that extra time in, that's what we were talking about earlier today. Like, um, yeah, it's definitely a different experience for me this time around, but I'm even more motivated, I think, than I was the last time. So, here, let's go for the log. I've been trying to do really good with my logs because last time I only had 10 logs last in 2021. I only had 10 logs. That that was not enough. So cuz I should have like 94 days or something. So that's why I have been open recent. I have been doing this first thing instead of waiting to do it last, because honestly, by the time I get done, especially when I'm like, it's 1 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm done streaming, and I'm done like, kind of frying my brain a little bit, I just be wanting to turn my computer off and lay down. That's it. And that's why I lost the habit of submitting my logs last time. Definitely had a lot to do with that. Okay, so let's do this. I'm like playing with my screen, which is also damaging where my camera is. But okay, so day 8. see. This is a lot of space for nothing. All right, so day 7. Yeah, I attempted this, right? I tried to start the training early. It didn't work. So today we are going to focus on model deployment. And I'm definitely not trying to stay up all night. I'm gonna remove some of these actually, because it's kind of redundant. It's like extremely redundant actually. Oh, that's my progress that's my progress area. Okay, I might have to fix those. So what did I do to I moved some stuff into the 2022 log. Learning objectives and goals. So let's do this. I do really, oh, what am I doing? I do really intend to let my logs help, like, serve as, I guess, documenting this learning path, because I'm kind of experimenting, you know, to see what can work for other people as well. So I want to be really intentional about like what I do on each day, because by the time I get to like day 50, it's gonna be hard to remember. What was it? Here, let's do this. Command V. And then, oh, it's right here. Learning objectives and goals. Okay, so here's my learning path. And then I have goals in my README here. Oh, so just copy all of this basically. Just to be a little more consistent, but okay, so I'm gonna put that there. All right. And then I'm just gonna get rid of all of this. Oh, my progress was, I decided on my learning path. Okay. So now I have a blank space under everything. That's okay. I'd rather fix this now than realize this like way down the line, that I'm not really not really filling these out thoroughly. Day 6. This calendar, this is Notion. So I've been using Notion a lot and finally starting to get the hang of it. Yeah. I've tried oh, you say OneNote. That's Microsoft, right? OneNote? Is that Microsoft? Or am I making that up? Windows? What's the Evernote? Yeah, because Evernote is like the one like note taking thing. Well, this one is probably default, probably looks like that, but the thing about Notion is you can do a lot with the UI. I don't know if OneNote has those features, but one of the things that Notion is known for is like being able to really customize, and then most of your collections, you could call them, you can have different views of them. They're all called like a database, but You can do a lot with it. So even though the calendar was the weekly planner, but that's really just a database of events. And then it's easy to pick a view. It's a bunch of different default views depending on, what works better for you. So like for example, this is a podcast one, but it has deadlines and it does have a calendar view based off the deadlines. I just don't have any filled in. Um this is a main page though. So this is a bunch of different um collections kind of all built into one page. So this is what I was working on. This is a lot of the stuff I had been tracking right before I started 100 Days of Code. So it's some stuff I like. See, the Hugging Face course was already on here. I was working on the machine learning crash course for Google, but I decided to just go ahead with the Fast AI. So there's some more like of my bigger goals in there. So that's pretty much I'm working on doing something similar for the AI ML hub. So yeah, I have I've been trying to use Notion for a few years, I would say almost now, but it's finally starting to make sense to me and I use a lot of templates. But like for example, this ML hub, I'm doing this one from scratch and now that I'm used to using a lot more templates, I feel more comfortable to build this out the way I want it. So you can do a lot of stuff like this is a whole entire web page embedded here that you can interact with. This is a database as well, but it's going to be all different AI courses in here. And I thought it would be fun to like look at them in the gallery view. I'm going to get like a snapshot from the different course pages or something. Cause I want to make it look kind of cool, but, and then like this calendar here, this is where I'm going to be adding different AI events, machine learning events, that I find. So yeah, I could easily add a view, list view, table, board, timeline, like a Gantt chart, list was the first one, and then like gallery is another one as well. So yes, it's a work in progress. But I do like I think I'm getting a lot out of the tool now that I've been acquainted with it for a while. Trying to get better at documentation. Heck yeah. That's where I've been struggling. I have this one thing called a dev journal. So you can see, for example, this hub right here. This is my main hub. I wish it wasn't so slow to load every time, but this is my main hub, right? And even though you can see a bunch of these views in here, on this main page, it's just the ones I want to see, but this main hub has all of these. All of these are pages, or basically like most of them are databases. So the dev journal, there is a view of the dev journal on this page, but it actually is a dedicated page. But anyways, I brought this up because I remember when I was first learning, like when I took a boot camp, there was a guy who came to like do lab hours with us. Sorry. There was a guy who came to do lab hours with us and he had recommended having a dev journal. And basically what he said was, you like keep a notebook with whenever you run into different issues you have to debug, or like, lessons learned, you kind of keep track of them. And I used to do that in a Trello board, but I fell off of doing it after a while. And yeah, so you know how you like run into that same issue. You're like, dang, I fixed this before like 6 months ago, but I don't even remember. And you had to go down the whole Googling rabbit hole again. So that's like one little thing. So it's like I put different categories in here. So every time I come up with here's one that I tracked before. So I kind of have been adding the sections as I found new sections that might be needed, but I tag languages and frameworks. I put the copy and paste the entire error message, and then I also put a resolution. I put a screenshot in here too. That was a cool feature that I've been able to use. So I put a screenshot of the, it's hard to see it when it's blown up, but this is a screenshot of the error message, the log that I was getting, and then the code that was erroring at the time, because I used the screenshot in order to reference the actual fix, right? So I say on line 34, and then I say exactly what I did. I added a comma after q.id. So, and then I also put solution found here. If I find a blog or like Stack Overflow or something like that, I put a link to that post. So there's not a huge number of things in here, but like right now, this has a bunch of Django stuff. I don't use Django that often anymore, but I teach a program where the students do learn Django on the back end. So if and I usually work with project modules. So if I have to help troubleshoot or something like that, some of the things I find here are helpful. Some of the things too, like this was one that I didn't actually have an error message on, but it was something I learned while working through the documentation. It's like a what's the word? It was like a best practice. So yeah. Do similar for work. Yep. So in the past I did it, like I said, I did it with a Trello board, but it's really flexible when you do them with this Notion, because I can make any, it's a database model, so I can make any categories I want. I can actually add new properties as I go along, and they get, retroactively applied to all the other records in the database too. And they have a lot of different data types that you can work with, so it's really, really flexible. I love it. That's enough of my Notion commercial. Oh man. React and Django. Yeah. So even outside of the fact that I really am, this is my personal path right now with AI and machine learning, but I do have, see, I did that. I teach full stack programs. So right now at this point, it's a lot of React, and honestly, some of my students in the one program I teach for, they tend to go for React on the front end and Python on the back end, even though they learn JavaScript and Python on the back end. So quite a few of them end up going for Python on the back end, one reason or another. And then they can either use Django or Flask. So, man, oh man. But yeah, the dev journal is helpful. Maybe I'll actually, like, cause that's what that's what this meta dev world is. It's like I want to make a series of different templates that are helpful. So the AI ML hub is a little bit more of one that I would like curate content on, but like the dev journal, like I can make some, I want to make like a big hub that people can download as a template, because that's how I started with Notion, and I definitely recommend that unless you already know exactly what you want to do. It's overwhelming when you start blank with Notion, if you have like lofty goals but you haven't used it before. So I just started using templates, and that worked really well for me. So now I feel like, oh, okay, you know what, I want to make this thing, I want to make that thing. Okay, so I deleted everything under the progress for each day. Day one, this actually was my progress because I was deciding on what I was going to be doing. But We are at day 8. Okay, so let's do, I'll have to come back and do this progress tomorrow, rather. I'm gonna do my thoughts. Say, I am hoping okay, so I'll actually go back to whatever the progress was. I'll post this when I do tomorrow's log. So I can do yesterday's progress. Yesterday's progress was, let's see, I read more of the lesson 1 material from, do I have the book in here? Fast book, yep. Okay. And then the day before, I know day 1 was looking into this. Day 2, this day, see, I watched the beginning of the lesson 1 video and set up my Kaggle notebooks. And then I think day 3, I finished the video lesson. All right, Boxy, have a good night. Hopefully some more of my streams will be earlier in the day moving forward, but I appreciate it. So that's that. And day 4 says I have set up my Python environment in Jupyter local server. So that was a part of this. When I finished the video lesson, set up my Python env and got a local Jupyter server running. And the next one says, so far I have been refreshing on the history of deep learning. And so then in this progress, I'm going to at least say I started reading lesson 1 from okay. Day 5. Today I want to make sure I set up some cloud-based notebooks for my projects, as I discovered yesterday. Even a sample training is a lot when we live streaming at the same time. So I'll say day 5. Oops, I don't want that. here. I read more of lesson 1 and let's see about and then day 7 says I read more of the lesson material but could not finish training my model. So I think this is the day I set up Google Colabs to run my model, to run my lesson examples and connect it into a repo. Okay, so now for the most part, at least I have something for the progress on each day. Then I had my thoughts for each day. And I'm okay with that for now. So let me save this and here. Okay. Now, two palms, and then I'm going to bed. Well, I might not go to bed, but I am getting off of stream and after 2 palms. Alrighty. So I said I wanted to do model deployment, right? Let's look at Hugging Face because actually, let's see something. Because FastAI, not FastAI, but the actual course might have something good. I know that they planned on covering, I think they plan on covering some Hugging Face, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So let's see. Deployment is the next chapter. Damn it. So I should I should hold my horses? Is that what I'm getting from this? That's literally the next chapter. And that's what I was saying. They had talked about Hugging Face, and that was the first thing I was thinking about setting up. So today we'll be designing your own machine learning project, creating your own data set, training a model, using your data, and finally deploying an application on the web. We'll be using a particular deployment target called Hugging Face Space with Gradio. And we'll also see how to use JavaScript to implement an interface in the browser. Deploying to other services will look very similar to the approach you'll study in this lesson. Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. So that changes things a little bit, because if that's the case, I feel comfortable to, let's see, what else do I have to do in here? Maybe what I'll do is try to finish up as much of this material as I can. I think I can finish this today, actually, minus the training. So that's the only sucky part. Yeah, so, okay. All right. All right, I get it. Visual. I'm going to go ahead and just focus on doing that. And then if I finish it, I have to start week 2 within today or tomorrow anyway. So, okay, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I'm not really sure that I can do anything with this stuff, but I'm going to. I wondered, view resources. Maybe get 100 compute units, which is the same as subscribing, but then I don't have to worry if I don't end up wanting to stay subscribed. I'm going to consider that. Let's see. Okay, so all right, let's start. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Window. I'm trying to find my widget for. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm gonna skip this break and start. I did not mean to do that. All right, so with the error metric, hey preacher, Foxy might have went to bed by now, but welcome in. And thank you. Um, what are we working on? I spent like 30 minutes deciding that I was gonna do figure out some type of deployment plan. And then I was like, wait, let me see what kind of resources do they have in the class for deployment. And I was about to do something with Hugging Face, but then I was like, wait, let me go see what they have. And then I realized deployment is literally the next thing. So I'm just gonna suffer through without my trained model tonight because I know it'll take literally over an hour. Yesterday it took an hour and 17 minutes, so I know it's gonna take a long time. So I'm just gonna keep working through this material and finish up the book material for lesson one. So that way I can go ahead and I'll move into lesson two like tomorrow or the day after, um, which is deployment. And then I'll come back to actually, maybe I'll come back to making my image classifier after I do the deployment process. So that's kind of what I landed on. How about you? What's on the agenda today? Or maybe what was on the agenda since I'm the one person that's up at like midnight finally doing my 100-day session. Okay, so this is where I left off yesterday. Oh my gosh, I'm so funny. I looked at the YouTube stream and I confused myself because it was showing the wrong window. I'm like, wait, am I only sharing the wrong window? But no, that's what you call stream delay. Doing some fellowship applications. Heck yeah. I saw you had shared some of your projects that you've been working on so far. So I feel like I want to take a look and see at, the blogs that you wrote cuz I find that stuff to be super fascinating. So I'm like, as much as I believe I am very interested in NLP, I have such a long history of music in my life. I haven't even di- I haven't even taken like a step into learning about what types of things I could get into with anything that's music based. I'm glad you. Well, I mean, obviously it's your it's your area of expertise. But I am glad that you talk about it. So, because it reminds me to kind of look into it. Key piece of context. Okay, so remember that we were given a convention that said whenever a high level concept is being taught, then they'll probably use fast AI. But if a low level concept is being taught, they'll either use PyTorch or pure Python. So I'm going to try to keep that in mind as I go through the sections, because for me it helps. Like, I like to think about the picture, how everything fits all together. So I think just kind of knowing that and having those those ways of calling out the differences would be helpful. So yeah, PyTorch versus when you see PyTorch versus when you see Fast AI. See, all right, I'm on a new page of my notes. And I've been taking notes, so now all I got to do is actually reread my notes sometimes during the day. 23. Yeah, I imagine that I'll probably end up mixing some things together, like literally, yeah, like you said, mix NLP and music. Um the one music based project I have is to transcribe music from humming. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work out overall, like specifically where I'll fit that project in, but that's definitely on my list. Okay, well, it's on the list of things to do in the project for. That's this one. Add an app to transcribe humming into music. Okay, I got through all of this yesterday. I did also look at this part. So the main four things: the weight assignment, the performance of the weight assignment, the automatic means of testing the performance, and the mechanism for improving, which is basically reassigning the weights. Those are the four big concepts. So let me see, what did I write for this? I'm making my life so difficult because I got a whole bunch of junk. It's not really junk, but I have so much stuff on my desk that don't even need to be here. Okay. So I wrote freaking braid in my eye. Oh, well, I wrote the okay, the weight assignment, the weight I wrote weights are variables and weight assignments are particular values for the variables. And the term weight that they're using now is more so referencing parameters, but this is based off of Arthur Samuel's uh artificial intelligence paper from 1962. So he used the idea of weights, but again, they kind of specified that his idea of weights is more so what we call parameters now. So, got the weight assignments, and then the model is, I said the model is a special type of program and it can do many different things depending on the weights, which is really more so saying depending on the parameters. And the thing about deep learning is, or the neural network, I should say, is that it's a very flexible model. So that's, that lends itself to the idea that we can use the neural networks for so many different types of applications. It's not just one specific use case that it works well for. So by having varied parameters, um, that the neural network can be really flexible in that way. Um, and then he talked about, that's three, the actual performance, which we pretty much use like the error rate, the automatic means of testing. Yeah, that still mostly ties to the error rate because we usually build in some type of method like uh mean square error is like what you use for linear regression, right? So usually you have some type of standard error calculation that is a part of the training, and then the last one is the mechanism for improving or changing the weight assignments, and that is stochastic gradient descent, which I'm pretty sure I did like a little bit of learning on gradient descent earlier in the year, but that'll definitely come back as a big one. So that's what I wrote yesterday. So I did. I think I got through all of these. Make characters from the data sets. Wait, like actual text characters or like some type of like more like a character like in a game or something. I can't even put it past you what possibility that you come up with because I feel like you have like very creative ideas. So it could be all of the above for all I know. Audio, text, visuals. What? See, I said it. All of the above, right? Yep. Of course. This is very. I think a lot of the stuff that you work on is very interesting. Notice the distinction between the model's results and its performance. Also note that once the model is trained, the weights become part of the model. Let me see, where's the GV gonna come from? Because I think that's supposed to be graphing something for me. What in the actual F? Why are you not? Oh, maybe because I clicked on it. It said keyboard interrupt, so that was my fault. I'm about to yell at the computer. Computers can only do what we tell them. Okay, I'm gonna skip the I am gonna skip the training one. But I am gonna try to here. I should do myself a favor. I'm gonna do myself a favor. Nope. And close these sections I'm done with. Okay, so I guess I am okay. I'm on this part now. So GV, yeah. See, I was like trying to picture how this is supposed to look in my head, and I'm like, yeah, duh. I'm supposed to just run the code so I can see it. Because they're comparing the diagram for like the theoretical training versus when you actually, this is the point at which you actually assigned the weights. Basically you finish the training, so this is just the model. Actually, this one represents a traditional program, so like a traditional function, how we normally do software engineering. That's what that model represents. Then this model represents the deep learning or machine learning. This is the training model. And then this one is using the trained model. I think these graphs are good actually, or these graphics are good. So let's see. Traditional. So I have traditional software development, where we go from inputs to a program. To results. And then we have a program using weight assignments. Okay, and then this one is a machine learning training model. Skip that. Okay. All right, let's do my break. I never really know what to do with my breaks, man. I never know. Okay. I need something practical to do on the breaks, though. Maybe I'll work on my hub in the meantime. Okay, this is... What class is this? Okay, I'm confused. I don't remember. I obviously put this here. I don't remember what this class is though. Let's see. I need to see it. See, that's why I want to put images on this one. Hold on. Let's go back. Okay, let's open that up. I can close this. I can close this. I can even close that. Imagine closing tabs. Oh, it's from the PyTorch Lightning creators. Lightning AI. I don't remember exactly where I came into this one. Ooh, what's this? Introducing Lit Llama. A minimal optimized rewrite of Llama licensed under Apache. I think I'm gonna make one for open source projects. That would be fun, right? Okay. So, courses. Okay, so let's do. I can't see my. There it is. Let's move this over so I can keep up with it for a minute. I'm just obsessed with gallery views right now. And I'm going to make a new database and call it open source projects. Okay. Now let's edit, open in center peak. So what did I copy? I copied so this is Lit Llama. Lit Llama. So I know it's a large language model. Properties. Let's do a URL to the repository. And then copy image. No, wait. Save image as Lit Llama logo. Save that. And then they use the lightning bolt. So let's use that for the icon. And then for the cover, I don't know if it's gonna look right. Change to upload. It's not the best, but I wonder. And get rid of these. Backspace. Maybe once I look at it in the gallery view, it'll look better. Let's see. I want the. How do I show? How do I show that as my? I really should have made this its own page, but it's okay. I wonder if I refresh it, will it show up? Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that because why can't I get it to show? Is what's on the. Okay, it looks like right now the main page is showing as the thumbnail, so let's do this instead. Let's put her image. Upload. See if this will work better. Downloads. Yeah, now it shows. Okay. I can reposition the image. Okay, that's fine. So now I know what I can do to make this a little bit nicer is I'll probably just use Canva and create a thumbnail for it. That's white. Okay, so that's a good little quick break type thing. So I'm gonna do my last palm and then I'm taking my butt to bed. Let's get rid of this. And I am going to start this project. All right, so where am I? Let me do this last model, the trained model as a program. I think one of the big takeaways from this section of the different diagrams is that the trained model essentially takes the place of a normal program that we would write. So that's why this, you can see visually, this diagram is pretty much identical to the original traditional program. We're just swapping out our program for the model itself. So that's the main thing I'm taking away from these, which is something that I have been, familiar with, but it's still good that they're reinforcing that concept. Any thoughts? Okay. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. There we go. Okay, so now that we have covered this section, is machine learning, we will go back to the neural network. Wait. Oh, yeah. Okay, I guess that's fine. I was thrown off by the scroll wheel, but then I forgot I collapsed a lot of stuff up top. So this actually gives me a more realistic view of what I have left over, even though it was it's a little bit jarring. Okay. Um, and I want to check something real quick. Oh, they separated my 100 days of code repo, and now you can see I still don't know why I don't have contributions on Tuesday, but my graph got filled in for all of the contributions I made to my 100 days of code repository as well. So that was something that was important to me, and I was waiting it. So it looks like it took about 2 days for them to finish that. Yeah, it took about 2 days for them to finish that request that I made. Yeah, this is the main reason why. My day 2 notes, I didn't commit them until 12:07 a.m. That doesn't sound right, but it's okay. It's okay. This is day 1. Oh, okay. See, because I got day 1 in like at 11:59 p.m. Yeah, so that's probably on me. But moving forward, my graph should look good. So, I don't know. I had to just check that because that's on my mind. Um, your girl is doing work to try to make sure her overall profile is in perfect order. A little bit more I can do with my readme, but yes, 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 yes. Actually, I'm gonna close that Kaggle page. There's no reason for that to be open. Okay, let's go back. Hey Key, welcome in and thank you. Does my stuff still say birthday today? I don't even know. But thank you. I appreciate it. How's it going? I okay, that's fair. I'm pretty sure I updated it, but I'm not gonna blame Streamlabs. I'm just gonna blame my rush to start streaming. Oh, I guess my title didn't get changed. That's okay though. That's okay. I've been good though. I've been good and feeling slightly rather productive. Feeling like I'm kind of getting into a groove, so I'm happy with that. It had been so long since I was streaming, and I swear I missed it so much. Like, I've grown such a strong appreciation for just having the live streams running, especially when I wasn't doing it. I I was gonna say this is the most I've streamed at night all year, but it's probably not true. But we'll see. I'm debating on if I'm going to be able to go back to streaming in the mornings, but right now it's kind of hard to stream in the mornings because baby boy wakes up at the crack of dawn. So usually whenever he wakes up in the morning, once I'm finally ready to wake up and he's not like, by the time I get out of bed, I try to spend the first part of the day with him. Cause usually by the time I have to get up, he has dealt with, just entertaining himself for 30 minutes to an hour, if not more. Okay, so the universal approximation theorem is the proof Yeah, it had been a minute. I don't know. I didn't stream at all in I guess it's not true. Probably it was like a good year. But it was a lot going on. It was a lot going on. And then I had my son in June, so he's going to be a year now. But I kind of came back to streaming in November-ish, I want to say. Like towards the end of the year. So I don't know how many days I streamed this year, but I've already streamed like so many days. I'm proud of myself. But I missed it. So I'm here. 100 Days of Code. Obviously, we're only on day 8. But even after that, whenever it's not too hectic, at this point, I stream like 5 days a week normally. Mostly coding and stuff though. And I've been working on stuff. I've been working on my YouTube. I've been working on classes and teaching and stuff because I do some stuff with 2 different nonprofits. I've been working on making more online resources because I'm usually like I teach a lot, so I'm used to just like making stuff for my students, but I want to branch out. I've been knowing I needed to do that for a long time, but I just haven't because it's just been a lot. So that's kind of the phase I'm at right now. So did I find this theorem yesterday? I don't think so. I don't want to copy the whole cell. Dang, I just want to copy this part. I guess I gotta do that in order to copy this. Slacking on coding. I mean, just start somewhere, right? If you know, I don't know. You can either pick a class that you want to finish or pick a thing you want to build. That's the best place to start because then a lot of it shapes itself. Like didn't I do have some project ideas, but I knew like I kind of need to establish a foundation. So for this 100 days, I literally just picked 2 to 3 actual classes that I want to go through, and then I think the projects and like the structure and stuff kind of can be a little bit more laid out for me. I wasn't exactly looking for a blog, but that's pretty short and concise. I really want to see the actual theorem though. Well, I think in order to see the theorem, I would have to. I think what I really should be looking up is the paper, which is the artificial intelligence paper by Samuel. Trying to learn my history, y'all. Arthur Samuel. Because I'm pretty sure that's where that theorem comes from. Arthur. Jeez. Samuel. That's not how you spell paper. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Damn it. Okay, there we go. That's also not how you spell artificial. Showing results. Yep. Okay. That's not what I'm looking for, though. That's somebody's paper about him. This is the paper right here. This is JSTOR. I need to see what my library has available. I want to read this paper though. Artificial Intelligence, a Frontier of Automation. All right, well, I will go back to that. Um, okay, so I have like 10 more minutes until it's 1, so even though my break is it's break time, I'm just gonna finish out what I can. And let me close these as I go. How come that's not collapsing? All right, so I'm leaving off right here. And I already have my goals, so now I might try to do this better. Since I am done with this, let me go ahead and write my progress down. Escape. Oh, my computer is hot. So I actually want to move my progress underneath my thoughts. I'll probably go back and do that for everything else, but because I kind of do thoughts at the beginning and then I do progress at the end. So progress would be, let's see. All right, so save that, and I'm gonna push this. Get status. Get. All right. So yeah, I will be back for day 9. Um, hopefully, I mean, I have a decent amount left on this material here, but at the same time, pretty sure I'll finish this tomorrow. I'm just going to power through. I'm gonna try to work a little bit earlier tomorrow. Just all depends on baby boy. So I'm gonna try to work a little bit earlier and then get through the rest of this reading, so that way probably on Wednesday, yeah, Wednesday would be like going into my second week of this material, or at least my second week from finishing the uh watching the video lesson. So I'm trying to track my progress that way. Um, yeah, I think that's it. So I will actually be in Discord working on some more materials there. But again, I do appreciate everybody that has been chiming in on 100 Days of Code and just kind of overall supporting each other. So if you want to join Discord, here is the link in the chat. Otherwise, I will see y'all tomorrow. Good night.